Overlanding to India, episode 19, Kashgar. Our last video ended with a view on the Chinese border monument, or gate, whatever you want to call it. Directly after this gate, the roadworks begin. China is building a complete new 4-lane highway from Kashgar to the Torugart border. Soon we ride between barbed wire fences and the usual queue before the border starts. But actually, thanks to Karim, our guide, the border crossing goes smoothly. Quicker than expected, we can leave the border facility. There's a lot of construction work going on, like here, a brand new dam. But here you can see an idiot Chinese driver who almost pushes me off the road. It's a first sign that Chinese drivers are, let's say it mildly, not so skilled. Behind this tunnel, the roadworks continue for probably 100 kilometers. It is incredible to see how much work the Chinese can do in a short period of time. A road for which in Germany maybe 10 to 15 years would be required is here finished within 1 year. If there is some discomfort for travelers who travel this route in the same time, well, that's not a real problem for them. Anyway, you can see that we are traveling through a rural area as there are a lot of animals crossing the road and sharing the road with us. The parts of the road that actually have tarmac are quite nice, and the landscape is also not bad. Shortly before Kashgar, we reach an actual motorway. It's been quite a while since we've driven on such a nice road. Unfortunately, it's a toll road, and we still didn't have any Chinese yuan, so problem. In the real Chinese tradition, I will overdub my video because it looks more realistic for the Chinese viewers. Anyway, we are now in Kashgar in a taxi on our way to a tourist show near a reconstructed city gate. I'm curious how that looks because, it's not really my thing. We are now at the show. I can't see the show myself. Okay then, here a little impression. Sorry for the mobile phones in front of the view. When the show is over, the whole crowd moves inside the city walls through the gate. Actually, Kashgar is also one of the cities on the ancient Silk Road. So it seems that we are not quite finished with it yet. Our guide, Karim, guides us inside the city wall through the small alleyways. But wait a minute, something doesn't quite add up here. It turns out that this isn't actually the old city anymore. Due to a regulation which is implemented for all of China, all houses above a certain age have to be demolished. In this case it means that they have reconstructed with modern materials with, let's say, an old-fashioned look to them. Now they are safe. The city is looking lively through some specially organized tourist shows. We are now at the central square in Kashgar. And here you can see a really important part of the history of this region. A giant statue of Mao Zedong stands proudly above the central square. I am not allowed to get any closer though. Now here you see a typical crossroad in the Chinese inner cities. I can tell you they look the same everywhere in China. You can also find the typical electrical rental scooters like in any other Chinese town. There are not so many people riding them though. On the other side of this gate is the night market, so you can eat there in the evening. Kashgar is for us the final destination on the Silk Route. Oh, what a sweet camel. But it's not quite. This is Idka Mosque. It is one of the landmarks of Kashgar. But it is not as impressive as the other mosques we have seen. Behind the mosque you can find some bazaar-like streets. Here they sell many tourist goods. There are also some tea houses, mainly on the first floor of old-looking buildings. As there are mainly Chinese tourists here, the products are focused on them. This is a jade shop. Anyway, they didn't sell many products to me or the other members of our group. Then the fake buildings continue. For me, it just doesn't look authentic. It's more like a China Disney. Some Chinese tourists even hire professional photographers to make a professional photo shoot in this surrounding area. Okay, maybe on a photo it looks nice. When you look closely to these images, you can see that on the first floor all windows are fake. Then it's time for lunch. Karim takes us to a local restaurant where the people from Kashgar also eat. We get a simple noodle dish with some kebabs, but it's really nice.
One of the few remains of the old city wall.
The ancient mud brick walls almost completely vanished. The new replacing walls are made by concrete, covered in a material which somehow looks like mud. Now we have to take the bus to the other side of town. Let's grab an ice cream.
来，这边看一下，这边有正宗的俄罗斯大白熊冰淇淋，俄罗斯原装进口，牛奶制作。
Kashgar is in its origin a mainly Muslim-populated area. The local people are called Uyghurs. One of the oldest buildings in town is this Afaq Khoja mausoleum. The pond in front of it reminds a bit of Taj Mahal.
It was the royal house of Kokand who came here from Samarkand. Here are similar tiles as we've seen in other places, but they're much less detailed.
Actually, it looks like this is one of the not destroyed or overly restored buildings in the area of Kashgar. And I must say, it looks even more original than its counterparts in the Uzbek cities of Khiva, Bukhara and Samarkand. The mausoleum started building in 1640, and inside are the remains of 72 members of the Afiki family. It is not a place of worship anymore, as the Chinese government has officially declared this as a site of major tourist interest.
There's also an old madrasa.
Today it is open to public. It has an outside and an inside place of worship and prayers.
Here is the mysterious stone which you should touch and make a wish.
Obviously, I did that, but I'm not going to reveal to you what I wished for. I appreciate the white, modest interior. What is typical, and what I've not seen a lot before, is that there are a lot of outside areas for praying and worship. I think these outside areas can only be used in summertime, because we have a continental climate over here. The wood carvings are intricate, and I see on several locations beautiful ceilings with vibrant colors. Now we slowly have to go to the exit, not before passing one more madrasa and an old gate. Next to the gate is a huge park and obviously a souvenir shop. After returning to the hotel in the evening, we decide to take a stroll through the surrounding neighborhood. There are a lot of little shops and we do some quick shopping.
We are in a restaurant. Now the question is, what are we going to eat? It's the fish.
Tomorrow we will set our first steps on the Chinese side of the Karakorum Highway.